Harriet, what's going on? I heard that you and my son won't be coming to our house for Christmas this year. Is that true?
Oh, good evening, Dad. Well, yes, it's true. Curtis and I talked about it for a while, and we decided that we would spend Christmas at home this year instead of going over to your place.
I don't believe this. Why would you go and do a thing like that?
Well, haven't you seen the weather reports? We're supposed to get a once-in-a-decade blizzard on Christmas Eve. A lot of the stores around here are already announcing that they're not going to be open for either the 24th or the 25th out of fear for their employees' safety. It's pretty serious. We just feel like we'd rather not take the risk and go visit you guys on another day instead.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing. You think you're worthy of marrying into our family with an attitude like that? I should have known this is what you would be like when you refused to build a duplex with us before you and Curtis got married. Not only that, you had the nerve to continue working after your wedding when you should have quit in order to take care of my son's home for him and give me grandchildren. I am so disappointed in you as a daughter-in-law, Harriet. I don't know what that fool son of mine saw in you. Now you're telling me that you're not going to come to my house on Christmas because of a little bit of snow? It's not like you've never seen the stuff before.
Dad? Have you really not noticed how much it bothers Curtis when you say things like that to me? I'm sure he's talked to you about it before and told you to back off.
Excuse me?
And for the record, it wasn't me who first came up with the idea to spend Christmas at home this year. It was Curtis.
That's not true.
Also, Curtis was the one who first came out against your proposal of building a duplex together, not me. And once again, it was Curtis who encouraged me to keep working at my same job after getting married. He's been very supportive of me and my career aspirations.
What a load of nonsense!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm actually out of town on business at the moment, so I'll be taking my leave.
What? Your company sends the women on business trips? Don't they know you have more important things to be doing at home?
Well, Curtis and I both share housework duties, and I'm the person in charge of this region, so...
This conversation isn't over. We still have a lot of things to discuss, Harriet.
I have to get up early tomorrow morning, so I'm going to bed now.
Harriet! It's precisely this bratty, rebellious attitude of yours that made me oppose you marrying my son in the first place. I always told Curtis that he made an unbelievable mistake in marrying you instead of Charity. They've known each other since they were kids. They understand each other. They grew up in the same town, share the same culture. They're the perfect match. What was that imbecile thinking, choosing you over her? My only wish is that there was some way for me to get him to divorce you. How I'd love to be able to look Charity in the face and call her my daughter-in-law.
Mr. Wainwright, are you there? It's an emergency.
Oh, if it isn't my darling little Charity. Are you trying to get in touch with Curtis? At this time of day, I'm pretty sure he's at work. Can I give him a message for you?
No, this is about Curtis. He's been taken to the hospital.
What? What in the world happened to him? The hospital?
Curtis and I were going to meet up for lunch today. I was at the cafe waiting for them to arrive, and I saw Curtis across the street coming toward me, right? When all of a sudden a car drove straight through a red light and ran right into Curtis.
Oh no, that's terrible.
It looks like more than one person was injured in the crash because 2 ambulances arrived on the scene a short while later. I was on the scene, so I volunteered to go to the hospital together in the ambulance Curtis was loaded into.
What hospital were you taken to, Charity?
It's Western General Hospital, the one on North Franklin Drive. Please, Mr. Wainwright, hurry over here as fast as you can.
Got it. I'll tell my wife we'll be there soon. Harriet, what do you think you're doing? Exactly when are you planning on coming to see Curtis at the hospital? In all the time he's been here, you haven't come by to see him one single solitary time. Have you no shame? Don't you feel any responsibility to be here with him? Let me state this as simply as possible. Your husband is in the hospital, Harriet, and you, his wife, have not come by to see him a single time. Are you insane? Not only haven't you come by, you haven't even tried to contact him. He could have died for all you know. Oh, but not to worry. While you've been shirking your responsibilities as the wife of my son, Charity, a superior woman to you in every way imaginable, has been coming down here almost every day to visit him and check up on his condition. Every day that goes by, you make me more and more convinced that I'm right. Charity would make a far better wife for Curtis than you ever could. Hello there, Charity. I'm terribly sorry to have shouldered you with the burden of looking after Curtis for us. The restaurant we run is very small. There's only my wife, myself, and a few part-time staffers. If we're not there to handle things, then we'd have to shut it down, and we obviously can't do that. If our restaurant were a bit closer, then we'd at least be able to stop by from time to time, but unfortunately we're on the opposite side of town.
It's fine, Mr. Wainwright. Don't worry about it. After all, I'd do anything to be able to spend more time with Curtis. This is like a dream come true.
I'm glad to hear that. You know, Charity, you really are one fine young woman. Generous, caring, self-sacrificing. Nothing at all like that heartless, soulless, worthless Harriet.
Speaking of Harriet, do you know what's going on with her? As far as I can tell, she hasn't even come by the hospital once to see him.
I thought that was the case. I can't even get in touch with her. She won't answer texts or calls. Her parents have already passed away, and I don't know the contact information of any of her other family members, so the only thing I can do is wait for her to respond. There's no other way for us to figure out exactly what the hell she's doing. But since she's his wife, I assume she's his emergency contact, so there's no way she doesn't know about his accident. Seriously, what is wrong with that girl?
You know what I think? I think she's using this as an opportunity to do what she's always wanted to do, but couldn't because Curtis was around. You know what I mean?
What?
Curtis is so ridiculously trusting of her. No matter how many times I try to tell him about her, he's just like, no way, Harriet's not like that. She would never do that to me. It's pathetic. I mean, think about it. Not only has Harriet not been over here, but she hasn't even gone back to their house yet all this time.
Wait, really? You're sure? Wow, I should have expected that was the case, but to hear that it's actually true is too sad to bear.
Don't you think it's time we made our move and got them to divorce? I mean, it pains me so much to see Curtis pining after such an unfaithful wife.
Yes, Charity, you're exactly right. The time has come. It's time that my son got the wife he deserves. You! Hello, Harriet. I'm writing to let you know that I've talked it over with my wife, and we've decided that you do not deserve to be married to our son. Not only have you not come to the hospital for the entire time he's been hospitalized, you're off doing who knows what in who knows where, and haven't even been back to your house. Furthermore, you have yet to respond to or even read a single one of my messages. As such, we have determined that the only way forward is for you to leave. You're going to divorce my son as soon as possible.
Hello to you too, Dad. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you.
There you are. I suppose once I brought the D word into the picture, you realized I meant business. But you're too late, Harriet. There's no changing my mind now. My decision is final.
Let's back up a bit, shall we? First order of business. I've been staying in the exact same hospital as Curtis this entire time.
What? Wait just one moment. What do you mean you've been staying at the hospital? As in you've been renting a room nearby?
No, I mean I've been hospitalized. I was the other person injured in the crash involving Curtis. and the driver who ran a stoplight?
You were?
It looks like you're under a massive misunderstanding, so allow me to explain things from the beginning in the simplest terms possible. First, I was in the intensive care unit for the first few days of my time in the hospital. I've been cleared to leave the ICU and am now in a regular room, so I was finally able to get my phone repaired recently, which was heavily damaged in the crash. It just came back to me yesterday, but I suffered some serious injuries to my hands, so I haven't been able to type by myself. The messages that are being sent to you right now are being written by a friend of mine who came to see me today, as that's the only way I would be able to reply to you.
But that doesn't make any sense. If you've been here this whole time, why hasn't Curtis said anything about it? He's had ample opportunity.
Yes, well, there's a very, very good reason for that. Charity, who's been clinging on to Curtis like a fly in molasses since the time we were dating and sees me as her mortal enemy, has been in the room with him every day and practically never leaves his side.
What? Charity?
It also seems as though she's invited herself to stay at our home while she's here. If she knew that I was here at the same hospital, there is no telling what she might try to do to me in my current state. So he thought it would be best for me to just keep quiet about it. I asked the doctors to transfer me to a different hospital to avoid this problem, but they said there was no way they would be able to safely transfer me in my condition. So we went with Plan B. I asked the doctors to instead transfer me to a private room within the hospital and leave a standing order to refuse visitors without express permission from me.
That's...
By the way, the only reason I'm able to reveal this all to you right now is because Charity's parents have also arrived and they're keeping tabs on her for me.
What? Her parents?
I understand that Charity, when Charity told you about the accident, she told you that another driver ran a red light and struck Curtis as he was walking, is that right? But that's not what really happened. No, the truth is that while Curtis was waiting for the pedestrian stoplight to turn green, he was pushed from behind into the road, and that's when he was hit by that car. So the car wasn't at fault at all, it was the person who pushed him.
What? You mean someone was essentially trying to murder Curtis? Who was it? Who's responsible for this? I'll see to it personally that they're brought to justice.
It was Charity.
Charity?
In her defense, it seems that she was just so happy to see Curtis that she started sprinting towards him, and when she wasn't able to hit the brakes, she rammed right into him. Charity's on the small side, but an adult running at that rate of speed was enough to push Curtis off balance, so he fell face first into the road.
That's unbelievable!
There's more. I was actually with Curtis at the time of the accident.
Oh?
And because we were holding hands when Charity pushed him, I got pulled into the road right alongside him. I don't think what happens next needs any explanation, so I'll just skip that part.
Yes, I think I get the picture.
As for what happens next, I'll have to talk with Curtis about the details, but we're planning to file a police report.
A police report? You mean you're pressing charges?
We've been contacted by multiple witnesses who were there the day of the accident, so there's really no escaping this for Charity. She's the one responsible for what happened to us.
I see.
That's all the time I have to speak to you today.
What? What's going on?
Nothing, it's just that the friend who's typing these messages for me has to go to work tomorrow morning, so she's going home now. My intention was only to clear up any misconceptions you may have had about what really happened. We can discuss the more minor details at a later time, so we'll have to continue this conversation another day. Good night.
Charity, I just spoke to Harriet. She told me about what really happened. If your parents are taking charge of you, I suppose you won't be able to respond to any of my messages. I can't believe it. It wasn't a car running a red light. You just rammed into Curtis so hard that he fell right into the road. I had such a hard time believing it that I talked to your parents directly, and they confirmed that everything Harriet said was true. And to think I was trying to get Curtis to marry you. I had no idea you were such a psychopath. Oh, my dear God in heaven, this is absolutely terrible. Harriet, what's the meaning of this? Curtis said he's going to legally change his last name to yours? He even sent us a letter declaring that he no longer wants to have anything to do with us. He's disowning us as his parents. Please, Harriet, I'm begging you, you've got to talk to him. Do something about this. Talk some sense into him. Please, Harriet, Curtis is my only son. I was planning on having him take over the family business, but now he's disowning me? What am I going to do? Look, I'll accept your marriage to my son. I'll accept you as my daughter-in-law. I'll accept you as part of the family. I'll even allow you to keep working, and you can go out of town on business as much as you'd like. Oh, and I'll also compromise and have you and Curtis do an 80-20 split on the housework. So please, you need to convince Curtis not to disown us and get him to reconsider changing his last name. He can't just get rid of his last name. That's my family name. When she read the letter, my wife was so shocked that she fell down and threw out her back. Harriet, answer me, please. I'm begging you. Give my son back to me, Harriet.
Soon after Charity's parents took custody of her, the friend who had been coming to the hospital to check on me stopped by our house to see what state she had left it in. I was not entirely surprised to hear that every single thing that had anything to do with me had been damaged or destroyed entirely. There was more than enough for my friend to realize that we would no longer be safe in our own home, cleaned up the mess, and removed all of our valuables to a safe location. Additionally, she's also arranging for an apartment to live in temporarily until we can find a new house. Now, since Charity obviously has no money of her own, her parents ended up footing the bill for all the money she owed us to repair the damage she caused, as well as moving expenses. As I told my father-in-law, we also submitted a police report and are pressing charges against her for breaking and entering, property damage, assault, and a litany of other crimes. We won't be settling out of court with her under any circumstances. We're seeing to it that she's put away for a very, very long time. A few months after that, Curtis and I were finally released from the hospital. The same friend who helped us find a new apartment also assisted us in restarting our lives in a new location, including helping us secure jobs similar to what we were doing before at her company. Faced with the unmoving determination of his son to abandon the family business, his father made the heartbreaking decision to simply close down the restaurant that he had worked all his life to build into a successful venture. As for us, however, we finally found peace in our new lives away from all the deeply troubled people in our past. Hey, big sis, got a question for you. I think I know where you're living now. Did you move to Stormbring? Why do you ask? I was doing some shopping downtown, and I could have sworn I saw someone who looked just like you. She was wearing your exact same style of clothes, you know, plain, boring, outdated, tacky. There's no way there's anyone else out there who dresses as badly as you do. So what if I am living in Stormbring? What's it to you? I have an announcement to make. I just moved to Stormbring, too. You moved? Harry's company transferred him over here, so we just moved here a little while ago. Is that so? I wasn't aware that his company had a branch in Stormbring. Uh-oh, is this where you try to pry more information out of me? About what? About what Harry, the man who left you because you were a useless, dried-up, barren old hag and married me, is doing these days. Look, don't even bother trying, Nicole. Harry has completely put you out of his mind. You're nothing to him anymore. He's head over heels in love with me. I can barely keep him off me at night. Jamie, please, it's been 7 years. I have absolutely no interest in him, and I haven't for quite some time now. You're not fooling anyone. What, do you want me to still be pining for him or something? Like, is your affection for Harry only based on your hatred for me? No. He's a total dreamboat. I would love him even if he was never married to you. Good for you. Is that all you wanted to tell me? Can I go now? I'm pretty busy over here. Hold it right there, Nicole. Tell me what your address is. Now that we're living so close to each other, I'd love to come over and catch up. So, listen, Nicole, I have got to tell you this. I am absolutely loving my life as the mom of Harry's child. Isn't it insane? The child that made Harry break up with you and marry me is now already 6 years old. He's going to go into first grade this fall. Oh, and he's a boy, by the way. Did I tell you the baby was a boy? He's such a bundle of energy. It's adorable how much he runs around and plays. Sometimes it's even a little bit too much for me. It's like, good grief, let me take a break, sweetie. Mommy's already played soccer with you 3 times today. I need a vacation bad. Well, if it isn't Jamie again. Look, would you please stop texting me at random times during the day to send me completely pointless messages? This is the phone number that I use for work, and it's really distracting to have my notification list so filled up with your nonsense that I can't find messages from my clients. Aw, don't be that way. We're sisters, aren't we? So yeah, let me tell you about this absolutely hilarious thing he did in the park the other day. I'll pass. We were walking down the sidewalk, and then this old guy with a dog comes by. I am blocking your number. Goodbye forever. What? Hey, you can't block me! Hey there, Nicole. It's your favorite little sister Jamie again. Oh, for the love of... You got a new phone number just to bother me? Kinda? But I mean, since we're living in the same city now and everything, I thought that it would be kind of important to have some way to contact you in the event of an emergency or something. I wouldn't even want you to contact me to warn me of an incoming tornado about to destroy my house. Come on, Nicole, why are you being so stuck up like this? I've been doing nothing but babysit my kid all the time. I didn't have anything fun to do until you came along. I don't want to throw away my new toy just a few days after I got it. I'm a toy to you, huh? Yep, and playing with you is the most fun I've had since you stopped talking to me after I stole your husband. Anyway, like I said, give me your address. It wouldn't do you any good. I don't live in Stormbring. Huh? Whoever you saw downtown the other day, I can tell you for sure that wasn't me. Seeing as I've never even set foot in that city in my entire life. You are such a bad liar, Nicole. Do you really expect me to believe that I didn't recognize my own sister? Believe it or not, it's the truth, so... Sorry, sis, but I'm not gonna let you spoil my fun so easily. I finally found you after all these years, so I have a lot of gloating to catch up on. It's whatever. We live in the same city anyway. And since I know what store you shop at, it won't take any time at all for me to track you down by myself. Hey there, Mariana. Sorry to message you out of the blue like this. Is now a good time? Oh, wow, Nicole, it's so great to hear from you. It's been ages. I've been meaning to contact you myself for a while now, but I assumed you'd been pretty busy. Well, yeah, you assumed correctly. Fortunately, though, I've been able to get help from the people in my inner circle, which makes things a little easier than they could be, but it's still a bit of a mess. If you're taking time out of your busy schedule to message me, then I suppose this probably has something to do with Harry and Jamie. You're just as perceptive as ever. For the last several days, Jamie has been absolutely blowing my phone up with messages all day, every day. So I thought something fishy may be going on and figured I should look into it. You and Harry are cousins. Have you heard anything from them lately? If not directly, from your parents or other relatives? I really can't shake the feeling that something weird is going on. Well, yeah, there kind of is. I thought so. Would you mind filling me in? Okay, and to make a long story short, Harry and Jamie got divorced about a month ago. What? Why? You probably heard that Jamie's kid is 6 now, right? Well, it turns out Harry isn't the father. What the? Hold on. This is the 6-year-old kid that resulted in our marriage breaking up 7 years ago, right? Yeah, that's the right kid. So I'm not sure how everything went down exactly, but for some reason, Harry found out a while back that he was infertile, to the point that he would most likely never be able to have a child of his own. That made him concerned about the son that he had always thought was his. And when he got a paternity test done, the results came back that his suspicions were correct. He wasn't the father. Yikes. After he had that bomb dropped on him, he started doing a little more digging. Then he found out that while Jamie had broken up her relationship before she and Harry got married, she was cheating on him with a different guy for most of their marriage. He filed for divorce, and due to all of Jamie's terrible behavior, she was found at fault and got nothing in the settlement. Good grief. And trust me, there's a lot more to tell you. This is the short version of the story. Wow, how could that situation possibly get any worse? I'd love to tell you about it, but it's an awful lot to send by text. And you're really busy over there, aren't you? I've got stuff to take care of myself, so how about we both get all our work done for the day and have a nice long conversation by phone tonight? Is 9 p.m. or so okay for you? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Okay, then I'll give you a call around 9 tonight then. Talk to you later, Nicole. Thanks, Mariana. Talk to you later. Hey, Mariana, thanks for telling me about all of that. Seriously, though, I had prepared myself to hear some crazy stories from you, but I still can't believe all of that actually happened. I just hope I told you something that can be useful to you. But what is up with that sister of yours? She never learns her lesson, does she? She actually goes out of her way to specifically avoid learning her lesson. But anyway, it's only going to be a few days. If she doesn't contact me again, then I can just leave it at that. But if she gives me any more crap, then I'm going to give her a piece of my mind and say goodbye to her for good. Hey there, Nicole. Wow, would you believe how much trouble my son has been causing for me today? So my in-laws sent him a new backpack for a present to congratulate him on moving into the first grade. And so he's been grabbing things from all over the house and stuffing them inside. Silverware, plates, my cell phone, car keys. I know. I should just be glad that he's strong and healthy, but it's still really exhausting. Sounds terrible. Oh, wait, that's right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be complaining about my kid to a woman who can't even have any of her own. I mean, how pathetic can you get, losing your husband because you basically aren't even a real woman? I'm so glad I'm not you. I just need to appreciate having my son regardless of how difficult he can be. Yeah, having a kid is hard work. Imagine how hard it is having triplets. Huh? Triplets? I don't want to keep this conversation going any longer than necessary, so I won't beat around the bush. I got remarried 4 years ago. What? Oh, so you mean your husband had triplets from a previous marriage? Nope, they're mine. I gave birth to them. What? Let me tell you, having triplets is not just 3 times the work and cost of having one. It's way more than that. Fortunately, we were able to get by on just my husband's income, so I'm managing to make things work by staying home full-time and having friends, neighbors, and family give me a hand when I can. So, yeah, I definitely feel for you and how much work you have to do to take care of your son. But that's impossible. You're infertile. How do you have triplets? It's quite simple, actually. I was never actually infertile in the first place. What? But hold on. Harry divorced you because you've been trying for 3 years to get pregnant, but you never succeeded. You can't have babies. You're infertile. Then when I was able to give Harry the child he always wanted, he married me. Yep, I know. Since you were pregnant at the time, I decided to take the generous alimony offer he made and divorce him without putting up too much of a fight. But the truth is that I never took a fertility test while we were married. You didn't? I did think about doing it towards the end, seeing as though it's really not normal for 2 young, healthy people to try for 3 years unsuccessfully to get pregnant. But Harry divorced me before I ever got the chance. Oh, I had no idea. Quite the contrary, actually. It turns out that Harry was the one who was infertile after all. Oh no. You know about that? Not at the time, no. I only learned that a little while ago. But how did you know? He never talks to you, so how would you get your hands on that information? You hadn't spoken to me for 7 years and all of a sudden started flooding my phone with texts. You thought you saw me downtown in Stormbring? You were obsessively telling me every little detail about your daily life with your son. I got suspicious that something was going on with you. I called up a few old acquaintances who I expected would be in the know, and they told me everything. From the fact that Harry found out he was infertile to you guys getting divorced and much, much more very interesting information. Then this person told you about my son, too. Oh yeah, I heard all about that. Both that the boy wasn't actually Harry's son and that your ex-boyfriend, his real father, took custody away from you the other day. I have to say, I am shocked, Jamie. You broke up with him because he was too poor for you, but you never even had the decency to tell him that you were pregnant with his child? I wonder if you regretted kicking him to the curb when he pulled up to your house in a new sports car with Child Protective Services in his wake and a court order to remove the boy from your custody. Oh, come on. Who told you about that? They didn't have to go into that much detail. And then there's our parents. They agreed to go along with your marriage to Harry 7 years ago because, in spite of the circumstances, they wanted their grandson to grow up in a home with both his mother and father. But this was just far too much for them to handle. They cut you off, didn't they? What? How did you hear that? How do you think Mom and Dad told me? I heard the gist of the story from someone else, but I called them to hear it directly from them. They apologized profusely to me, too. They said they should have never accepted yours and Harry's relationship, that they were thinking more about their grandchild than they were their own daughter. So, in other words, I know that your son got taken away from you and is now living with his father, not you. You tried to hide him from his father by moving into Stormbring where you thought he couldn't find you. But the long arm of the law did its job, and now you're all by yourself. This is the worst. You know everything, even all the minor details I really didn't want you to know. All I wanted was to gloat about being a mom when you could never have kids, to shove my happiness in your face while you were alone and miserable. I never thought my son would be taken away from me. And not to mention, you have triplets? What on earth is going on here? Everything is all topsy-turvy. So you have your big happy family and I'm alone with a massive amount of debt from Harry divorcing me? And all of it is 100% your own fault. It hurts, doesn't it? Stop mocking me! Hey, where are you? Why aren't you in Stormbring? What? I saw you at the store. You always shop downtown, followed you home, and finally figured out where you lived. But it wasn't you. It was just someone who looked like you. Oh yeah, you mean that woman that you saw and thought was me a while back? I was pretty clear about it back then. Whoever you saw in that store was not me. And again, I do not live in Stormbring. I've never even been there. Then where are you? If your husband is making enough to support 3 kids on 1 income, then you've got more than enough to help out your own little sister. I am behind on rent and utilities, plus I also have some payments to make on my legal bills from the divorce proceedings. So you're gonna have to lend me some money. What? No way. Why not? Okay, really? I should not have to explain that to you at this point. After everything you've done? Ugh. Nicole, I am completely on my own. I have nothing, no one. Sounds like a good opportunity to me. Huh? Opportunity? A good opportunity for you to turn your life around. Up until now, you've always been leeching off of other people's money in order to get by. Now that you have no one to help you, you'll finally have the chance to learn how to take care of yourself for once in your life. You can't talk to me like that. You're my sister. Now tell me where you live so I can stay with you. I'm just about to live in the sky for a while. You what? The sky? And then tomorrow I'll be living on the ocean. What the? Huh? What are you talking about? I'm going on a cruise, you idiot. We're taking an airplane to the port, then going on a 2-week luxury cruise on the ocean. No way! About to board. Good luck with the debt collectors, Jamie. Nicole, wait, don't go. Take me with you. With nowhere else to go and no one else to turn to, Jamie went to the only person in the world who she had a chance at being able to rely on, her ex-boyfriend, the father of her son. She put on some extra revealing clothes and expensive perfume and marched her way right up to his front door. But when she knocked and the door opened, it was not her ex-boyfriend, but some old man she had never met in boxers and a white t-shirt. Now, most people would simply apologize for showing up at the wrong house if something like that were to happen, but what did Jamie do? She screamed at the top of her lungs. As a result, rather than having a conversation with her ex-boyfriend about getting back together, she had a conversation with the police about disturbing the peace. Unbeknownst to her, the ex-boyfriend had already gotten married to someone else and moved out of his old house. Fortunately for her, since she hadn't committed any chargeable crime, the police let her off with just a warning. Fearing that she would soon get herself into even more financial or legal trouble if they didn't do something, our parents decided to take drastic measures. They enrolled her in a re-education camp, changed their phone numbers, and sold their house. Will this re-education camp finally fix whatever is broken inside my sister? I'm doubtful, but I suppose it couldn't possibly make her any worse.